I don't understand.
Dempsey,
huh?
the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dempsey, was in front of Congress in front of the Senate Foreign Intelligence Committee. And, you're going to listen to what he had to say. This is the military commander, and he said without a doubt that, like it or not, this is a situation we got to get involved with, man. And it's quite an amazing question and answer session, especially with him and Senator Graham.
Do you see what's going on here in the chat, Ernie? Are you reading this?
I'm not reading the chat. No, I ain't.
Barco is trying to tell me that
he's not alone when he gives that, talking about hit him in the desert.
He says if you're not going to go in with ground troops, don't even bother with airstrikes. In fact, Rick happens to agree with him. So he says, so the entire country, 300 plus million people, goes off to war because one nutter in Oklahoma. No, that's not the point. See, you're missing the point, Barco. The point of all of this is that if we don't fight them there, they're going to come here. And now a woman has lost her head because of it. Do you see the infestation and the I don't understand how you don't see it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I can't. There's nothing I can say about that except that you are so wrong on this. It's not even funny. The USA doing airstrikes strengthens ISIS. In what way? Tell me how. In fact, why don't you call in and we can talk about this? And you tell me how bombing the shit out of these people strengthens their resolve. They've already killed Americans. They've already beheaded Americans. They've already killed tens of thousands of their own people. So by us bombing them, it's going to give them resolve. Oh, so in other words, if we stop the bombing and we don't say anything, we don't do anything, and we pull back everything and never mention ISIS again, they're going to stop what they're doing. Is that what you're telling me? Because if you think that, you're sadly mistaken, my friend.
Well, maybe we shouldn't have got involved with World War II that united the, Japan and Italy and Germany. Maybe we shouldn't have got involved.
Yeah,
because they hated us so much. And
well, I'm glad that they popped. He says they popped champagne corks when they heard Biden threaten to chase them to the gates of hell. Who cares? I don't understand what makes them and their resolve so important in this whole discussion. It's what I don't understand. That's exactly the response they wanted, he says. Come back, USA, and give us a common enemy to unite the Islamic world against. I don't get it. I don't understand. What? Wow. She was beheaded, Barco. He cut her head off.
Did we start building it? What did we start doing? Building a wall around the country? Is that what we got to do? Isolate ourselves over here?
Yeah, that's what they want. Isolate ourselves, pull back, don't do anything, don't do nothing, and let the world go crazy. Let Russia take over whatever it wants, especially in a sovereign country. China's looking to take over islands over there from Japan. You've got that other little moron in North Korea who's looking to shoot off a nuclear weapon like a firework. You got Iran that's as close to a nuclear weapon as anybody else is going to get. Well, what do you think is going to happen there? So we're just supposed to pull back and do nothing and let these people run rampant. That's what we're supposed to do. And we can't say or do anything because if we do, then it's going to strengthen their resolve to get it done. It doesn't make sense. That argument falls apart. I don't understand it. Oh, great. Godwin's law in effect. Who is, first of all, Godwin? Am I missing something here? Do you know who Godwin is, Ernie?
Oh, I don't know. What did he put up a link to that? I have no idea.
Yeah, a Summer of Monuments. Godwin's law. Godwin's rule of Nazi analogies. Really? Really? You're going to... Come on. Wow. I'm going to have to read this now. I'll get back to you on this one, Barco. But are you somehow equating what we're doing to, or what I'm saying to, Nazi analogy? Is that what you're trying to do? Wow. Rick says, this is the last administration and president I want leading a war in Islam. The administration has been arming the enemy for the last 6 years and probably longer. Wow. Okay. This administration has been arming enemies for the last 6 years and probably longer. All right, so I guess Rick's talking about the fact that we gave the Iraqis equipment and now ISIS has them because the Iraqi army, who's supposed to be facing these people and fighting these people, left everything behind for ISIS to walk in and take. Is that what you're talking about, Rick? Oh, Ernie, that was directed towards you because you invoked World War II.
Yeah, well, I made that comment that we're not getting involved. Should we have not gotten involved with World War II? Did that enhance the opposition to us and make more people want to be against us?
I'm sure it did, and I'm sure the propaganda that the Nazis put out said so. But just because that may be true or is true, what does that change? When you finally come down to it, and when you diminish who they are, everything they have to say falls to the wayside like a bunch of wilted flowers. Their words no longer mean anything when they don't exist.
Well, like it or not, we are involved in this situation.
Yeah.
Because we are the beacon on the hill to many folks around the world. And to take us down is what they want to do. Just like they target Israel, the Hamas, and all those Arab countries around them want to wipe them off the face of the earth. And these pricks would like nothing better to do the same to us if they had it within their means to do so. So, to deny that fact is wrong.
Well, it's going to be a lot different when, there are people in this country dying in the streets and beheadings become, just another thing that happens in America. That's what it's going to be. So it's okay. So let it happen. Don't do anything, proactive about it. Just let it happen. It's already happening. It's already happened. This is my point of my whole discussion this evening, that it's here and happening right after this group decided to behead 4 people over there. Now it's happening here. They're teaching them how to do it here, in mosques, here, in this country, right now. The very mosque this moron went to was visited and attended by one of the 19 from 9/11. So I see a pattern here. And it's the job of our government to protect the American people. And if they have to go to another country to do it, I suggest they do it there, then do it here. We never should have toppled Saddam Hussein. These countries need guys like Saddam Hussein to keep them in line, really. All right, so killing 400,000 people is a way to keep them in line? Because that's what he did, Barco. He killed over 400,000 of his own people. Come on, man. I don't understand it. I'm really trying here, Barco, but arguments like that really don't make sense. So it's none of our business that a man... Again, let's go back to World War II. Hitler shouldn't have been confronted when he wiped out all those millions of people, so we should have let that be too? Which was, I think, your point earlier, Ernie?
Yes, indeed.
So we just let it happen. Let's just let it happen, because we can't police the whole world. Look, we may not want to, but it's our job. That's who we are. That's what this country does. We try to keep the peace. You see what happens when we don't? When we do back off? This is exactly what happens. You get Russia in the Crimea. You get Russian pushing into another sovereign country. You've got countries pushing for nuclear weapons that they're steps away from it. And the first one that's going to get hit is Israel. And the second one, if they can do it, is going to be on the United States. So let them do what they want to do is what you're saying, Barco. I can't believe that. I don't understand it. Go ahead, Ernie. I'm sorry.
Jay, there's a long litany of terrorist activities directed toward the United States and United States citizens here and abroad, going back to many administrations. I'm going back to Carter. If you remember those hostages taken, at the U.S. Embassy that was seized, 66 hostages, and they were there for 444 days before they were let go.
But wait a minute, Ernie. That was our fault. That was our fault because we shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
You know, these arguments don't make sense because, first of all, that's ancient history. That's like blaming everybody for slavery when we had nothing to do with it. Yeah, it's in our history. We've made mistakes. Nobody's doubting that. But because of that, we should not make a move on anybody or do anything against anybody ever again, no matter what the cost. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. Hey, and Barco says he's not going to play the ISIS equals Hitler game. So just to let you know.
We're at war. We're at war, man. Barco, look at the terrorist attacks in the U.S. are against American citizens. I'm going back to Beirut in 1983. Suicide car bomb, 63 dead, including 17 Americans. The Islamic Jihad claims responsibility. The Shiite bombs, October 23rd in Beirut. Suicide bombers exploded a truck near the U.S. military barracks at the Beirut airport, killing 241 freaking Marines. 58 paratroopers of the French were killed in barracks in West Beirut the same day. Kuwait City, December 12th, 83. Shiite truck bombers attacked the U.S. Embassy and other targets, killing 5 and injuring 80. 1984, a truck bomb explodes outside U.S. Embassy Annex, killing 24, including 2 U.S. citizens. Beirut, Kuwait flight taken hostage. 2 Americans killed on the flight. You talked about that TWA flight 847 that was taken over, and a U.S. Navy diver was executed and beheaded on that flight. Government attacked the Italian cruise ship in Chile, Laura. 1 U.S. tourist killed. Attack linked to Libya. You talk about Athens, Greece. You talk about West Berlin, Germany. You talk about Lockerbie, Scotland in 1988, that New York-bound Pan Am Boeing 747 that exploded in flight from a terrorist bomb. 259 aboard and 11 on the ground that killed, including many, many U.S. military service personnel who were on board that flight coming home for the holidays. And then you talk about 93 when they tried to hit New York City with the bomb in the basement of the World Trade Center that killed 6 and injured 1,040. 95, Oklahoma City, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in 1995. Bomb explodes outside U.S. military headquarters. 5 U.S. servicemen killed. Cobalt Towers, Saudi Arabia, military complex, 19 American servicemen and hundreds of others killed and wounded on that attack. Nairobi, Kenya, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, truck bombs exploded near U.S. embassies, killing 224, injuring 4,500. 2 connected with Al Qaeda, accused of that. We're at war, Barstow. We're at war, man. Yemen, U.S. destroyer, USS Cole, heavily damaged when a small boat loaded with explosives blew up alongside. 17 soldiers killed. September 11, 2001, we know what happened there in Shanksville and in the Pentagon. You're talking about Karachi, Pakistan, 2002, the American consulate in Karachi killing 12, linked to Al Qaeda. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, suicide bomber kills 34, including 8 Americans in 2008 in a place where Westerners were living. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Well, Barco, I'm going to go back just a little bit. Southern Cowboys, look at how many Americans they killed. And Ernie went through a whole big list, not to mention we're talking about ISIS now. Barco says, then what about Idi Amin? He didn't make it. Pol Pot, don't know where he is now. And Barco says we did nothing about either of them. He says, no, I'm not saying let the local... He says, no, I'm saying let the local governments in the area handle it with some help behind the scenes from us. Okay, with some help from behind the scenes from us. But everybody would know that we're helping behind the scenes, so they're going to use that the same way they'd use if we attack them, Barco, is my point. You're so worried about what they're going to use against us or to recruit. They could recruit from now till the cows come home. They don't have enough and could never have enough to defeat the American army or our might. Never, ever. And the longer we wait to do this, the harder it's going to be. Every situation is unique, Barco said. As far as I can tell, ISIS was at war with the people of Iraq and Syria, etc. Yeah, until they started killing Americans. until they started taking over land in Syria and then land in Iraq.